One of the great aspects of the weekend, and you wouldn't know that the Sydney Swans won if you'd been in Melbourne, because it's all been about the Bombers, Roosie, but they played some of the best football I've seen for years in the first three quarters.
They did. Yeah, look, their ball movement was really, really slick. I mean, we can see it here. Talk about ball movements, two things. Obviously, making the right decision firstly and execution. They did a lot of it. They did both a lot of the time up to three-quarter time. These kicks, beautiful to position, out in front, even though this one doesn't hit the target, it's out in front. And then Everett, really nice, good vision, looks around, hits, Dan Hanbury at the top of the square. Their ball movement was just slick and exceptional.
That vision exposes... Oh, there's the beautiful Swans in numbers there, and the figures that we see. Up 23 for disposals, up 22 for handballs. Disposal efficiency, that's where they've been very good, haven't they? The use of the football's been outstanding.
And 2.5 goals up, Mike. Now, I know Roosie doesn't like this sort of football, but it seemed to be doing... It's doing
I like
a bit
it when the Swans do it.
I
think, look, I think Lewis Jetta has become a really critical player for them. The two players that I think are really critical, a couple of outside players, Kieran Jack, who won the best and fairest 2 years ago, was injured all last year, but this boy has added another dimension to the team. Look at that pace. And he's just composure now, his third year in the system, his ability to use... Well, watch it here. I think he was 4 when Dustin Fletcher played his first game. So he's saying to Dustin, well, I'm a bit older than 4 now, son, so you chase me.
That's the bloke who caught Jeff Garlett.
That's exactly right. But, just this composure that he's got now, and you can see all of this is on the outside. And it's something they probably identified 2 years ago when we went after Gary Rowan and Lewis Jetta. There was a lack of that outside pace, which has allowed Jude Bolton now to keep doing what he's doing. And here's Jetta's from 2011 to 2012. He's up 7 in disposals, 6 in kicks, uncontested possessions, 6, and score involvements. And 27 goals. He's ranked 5th in the AFL.
Yeah, 13 more than any other midfielder. What position are you calling Lewis Jetta? Because he's almost as important and pivotal as a Wayne Carey once was. Everything gets cleared out for Lewis to be in space. I'm not sure who they're going to play on him, but a lot of planning will go into playing on Lewis Jetta.
Well, the scariest thought would be when the defender realises the ball's going over your head and Lewis Jetta's running the goals, because you're not going to catch him.
The Bombers had problems with Brett Stanton during the game. I mean, Jared McVeigh did a really good job on him. And it's coincidental that every time Stanton gets nutted by a tagger, and we'll have a look at his numbers, Essendon really struggle. But why wouldn't they have put him out onto Jetta and said, OK, you go your way, I'll go mine?
Well, it's a bit like I talked about the 2-on-1 on the paper on the weekend. There's a great opportunity because when they lose, look at Stanton's champion data points. He's minus 54, his disposals go from 31 to 18, his uncontested possessions go to 21-11. So you're absolutely right, Gerard. When the chance to take a Stanton, it's a bit of a risk because of those numbers, but all of a sudden he will then drag McVeigh out to Jetta. So it becomes a 2-on-1, and then it's up to that other guy in the chain that Jetta's got to really be effective and get the ball and get that team moving. I think they really missed Zaharakis on the weekend.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, he's become the Stanton number 2, if you like, and they're both those outside running players, and when he's not playing it puts even more pressure on Stanton.
Let me ask you about Shane Mumford. Was the strategy to occupy Dustin Fletcher, or is Mummy not ready to do his traditional role of rucking for 3/4 of the game?
Well, I think both, and it's really, I thought the Swans coaching staff did their homework. Kept Fletcher in line with the footy. Here it is here. We know he's one of the best. Now, Mumford doesn't mark the ball, but all night they actually kept Fletcher occupied deep, and he wasn't allowed to run off. Again, Lewis Roberts-Thompson doesn't mark the ball, but they're one-on-one contests. You're not seeing Fletcher float. Here's another one here, one-on-one contest, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. But I tell you what, the guy that doesn't get enough credit is Mike Pike, because Mike Pike is now allowing Mumford, and we talk about Folau and we talk about Carmichael Hunt. It's an amazing story what Mike Pike's been able to do.
Yep, it is.
And probably the fact that we're not talking about him is the greatest compliment, because we're now seeing him as an AFL player, and a bona fide AFL player, which lets Mumford play in the goal square.
Once again, the June curses cursed Essendon. They've got the bye, so they won't win one next week. Then if they've got the Dockers away, they've got a fairly serious
They took that mantle from Collingwood, didn't they?
They did. We have to move on, though, Mike. We'll do the Bombers again.
Well, let's talk about Buddy, Gerard.
Yep.
Now, the story on the back page of the Herald Sun today about where Buddy stood in terms of the